Hey guys, it's Roscoe on the Space Couch today. I'm going to talk about the Tesla Model X, which finally had its launch at the Fremont factory yesterday. And the first half a dozen vehicles were finally handed over to their owners. Or one of them was for Elon, and that's the one that was left for everybody to have test drives of. So, Tesla's raison d'etre is to move the world to sustainable transport. And Elon has said that any kind of car can go electric. And in fact, this is what they've been proving with their product lineup. The Tesla Roadster showed that electric sports cars could happen. The Model S showed that sedans could go. And now the X is showing that SUVs can go that way. And in due course, the Model 3 will show that mass market cars can also. Now, the X apparently is the safest SUV ever. That's not a surprise to those of us who know anything about Tesla, given how much work they do on their cars. It's gotten 5 stars, I believe, from the NHTSB, the safety board in the US, in every category. And due to its low centre of gravity, because the battery pack's being on the base, just like the Model S, it's very difficult to roll it over. Do you recall a few years ago the Mercedes smart car, that little one that does the running around the cities? When they were first testing that, it was wobbling around like this, very nearly falling over, and it had to get redesigned because of the centre of gravity. Very important. The X also has automatic emergency braking and active steering to actually help avoid accidents, and obviously 7.0 software is coming out soon for the S and the X, and that will finally start to enable autopilot driving on the highways. Now, one of the little tricks, as it were, or little whistles and bells that the X has got, the air filters are 10 times bigger than in a normal car. And even the backup filter is bigger than in a normal car. Now, it's such a high grade that it can actually scrub out pollen, pollution, viruses, airborne biological weapons. It's actually cleaner than a hospital operating theatre if you activate what's known as the bioweapon defence mode for the cleanest setting. Now, obviously, bioweapon defence mode, let's hope that doesn't get activated. But what that's more likely aimed at is certain markets suffer from very heavy pollution and smog. So like China in particular, its major cities are choking. And also places in Southeast Asia like, say, Singapore, maybe Malaysia, where all the smoke from the forest fires in Indonesia is causing huge amounts of smog. If you haven't seen the pictures, it just looks terrible. Although, given it has this bioweapon setting, we might see a handful of them in hot zones being used as transports and ambulances. Who knows? I suppose that is possible. Now, the front doors, you know how the standard keyless entry, the handles pop out, you climb in. With this one, the sensors, I guess they triangulate on the key fob, and the front door will actually open for you, and you can climb in. And then it closes behind you. I think, from what I was reading, you have to tap on the brake pedal for the door to then close behind you. I'm not certain on that. I'm sure that will become obvious in the next few days as more reviews of the car come available. Elon calls this the invisible chauffeur, which is quite nice. Don't know how practical it is, but hey, we do like all the little tricks they're able to put into the car. It also has, because obviously, one of the things people complain about is like charging the cars in the Model S and to store it. It has a centre bucket now, and there's also, in the front row that is, it also has charging ports for just about any type of phone. So I assume that means there's an Android charger, there'll be an Apple charger, maybe Microsoft or whoever else, I'm not sure. Now, the doors, the Falcon Wing doors, they do work great, I mean, pretty awesome, absolutely fantastic. They've got sensors inside to detect anything nearby. Obviously, that helps them prevent hitting either a car next to them or the garage ceiling. They did in fact do an excellent demonstration during the launch of parking cars next to the Model X, very close to the Model X, and then you could see that its doors opened up and away without touching either of the cars. That's great. I do wonder though what would happen to Model X's were parked next to each other. I suppose that is a that's a problem that will happen eventually, but not for quite some time. The second row seats that Elon has been raving about all this time, saying they're a sculptural work of art. Well, they certainly do look very beautiful. And they all move independently of each other on this row, so they go forward, back, or whatever. Very pretty. Obviously, they did release that new configuration where you can just have the 2 seats in the centre row. So we'll see how many people opt for that. Now, what else it can do? It can pull a £5,000 trailer, which is obviously what SUVs do a lot of, is hauling things, whether that's actual trailers or just little U-hauls to move your goods around. There's also an accessories hitch that will allow you to carry, I think it's like 4 mountain bikes or half a dozen sets of skis. And that literally, it's like connecting a piece of Lego, just stick it in and it's done. I believe it was actually one of Elon's sons who demonstrated that set and looked very much like him. Now, the base model, which is the 90D, there will be other models announced later with different battery packs sizes. It's got a range 257 miles, all-wheel drive, 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds, top speed 155 miles an hour. The P90D, which obviously that has the ludicrous mode, very similar in lots of that, 250 mile range, all-wheel drive, 0 to 60 in 3.2, and I have no doubt it'll go under 3 once there's been some more software updates in the due course, and again, top speed 155 miles an hour. The first cars, so I think these are like the Founders series rather than the actual signature, which will be delivered imminently. They went to like friends and allies of Tesla. So Steve Jurvetson, who's at Draper Jurvetson Partners, one of the biggest VC companies in California or in America, long-time investor in SpaceX and Tesla. He received one of the first ones. Sergey Brin of Google, he received one of them also. And there's a couple of other people. It actually looked like Astro Teller from Google X. I'm not sure. I wasn't certain. It kind of looked a bit like him. And another guy, his first name's Ira, I can't remember his surname. He's also been involved with Tesla for a very long time. And obviously Elon got the very first car. Obviously remaining deliveries are now going to start ramping up as we're now in Q4 and obviously into 2016. My thoughts on the car generally, it's awesome. I wish I could afford one. I can't wait to see the reviews from all the different car sites, as well as seeing all those head-to-head challenges, not only with other Teslas, but standard ICE vehicles. It should be a lot of fun. The X is finally released into the wild. Next stop is the Model 3, and only 6 months to go before we see that. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this content. Leave me a comment or a suggestion for an upcoming topic you'd like to see discussed. Let me know what you think about the Model X and how you think the launch went. Maybe you're lucky enough to own a Tesla. If so, please do let me know.